Hi beauties, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have y'all here today. I've got a slightly different setup going on. I am sitting on the floor of my living room and it might be a touch echoey. If it is, I apologize for that. Our living room is currently under a huge renovation, which we are actually filming on the side, and I'm excited to show y'all that transformation in a few weeks. But this spot right here is typically where a couch is because the TV is behind us. Those couches have all been moved out and we are having new furniture delivered this coming Friday. So I've got this big, slightly echoey open space in my living room, and I figured let's switch it up today. Let's film somewhere different. The natural light's coming in. I don't have to be in the dark, cold basement alone. So that is why we've got a little bit of a different setup. Today I'm doing the new mom tag, or the new mum tag for our friends across the pond. Okay, that's the extent of any British accent I'm ever gonna try on my channel. But I was tagged by my good friend here on YouTube, Amanda Mikes, or the Life Novice with Amanda M. We've never actually pronounced how to say her last name. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Meixelsperger. If I'm saying it wrong, girl, let me know. It's either Meixelsperger or Meixelsperger. It's gotta be one of the two. Will you let me know if I'm making a fool out of myself? Y'all should check out her channel though. It's the Life Novice with Amanda M. She's just really warm and kind and just real. Just a super, super nice girl, and I've really enjoyed getting to know her through the YouTube fam. So basically this is just a bunch of questions that could be pertinent to new moms or any moms in general. Curiosity about how you roll as a mom, your likes, dislikes, your pet peeves, what you love, your routine. So I find it kind of curious about other people, and I say, let's get started. Okay, first question is favorite mom hack. Y'all, this seems like such an easy answer, but I struggled because I was kind of like, I don't know. It took me a minute to think of one, and honestly, these aren't that great, but I had really good answers for the other ones, I think. The first one would be a passy clip. If your kid ever takes a passy, get a passy clip. That way it's hooked to him or her all day long, and if your child becomes dependent on a passy like mine were, you always know where it is. Another one that I thought of is the grocery cart hack. Instead of lifting your kid up and putting them, you know, very carefully placing their two legs in between those spaces where they can ride in the cart, lift the cart up from the bottom. You've seen the videos on it, and they can just climb right in. Saves a little bit of time, saves your arms a little bit. It's a hack. Next question is most embarrassing mom moment. I don't have a definitive answer for this because my 2-year-old has basically embarrassed me in public for the last good like 6 to 8 weeks. So it's gotten to a point now where it's just par for the course. I'm pretty much embarrassed whenever I'm in public with her because of just the fortitude of her attitude. So every outing with Vivian has potential to be embarrassing. I've gotten to the point now where wherever we are, usually it's at like a play place, I'm like, where is this kid's mom? And I will legitimately act like I don't know her. It's fun. That's a hack for you too. What part of the day do you love the most? I love when they first wake up. My son's a little bit more tricky because I have to wake him up every morning because he's got to be at a school at 7:45, and we live like 30 minutes from the school. But like on the weekends when they wake up naturally, and there's like a good 10 to 15 minutes where they're just happy and they're still like kind of groggy and swollen and they're just happy to be alive and we can just chill out and relax. Those are the good times. And the least favorite part of the day, I would say the stretch between getting home from school / supper time and bedtime, because that is when my kids, I only have 2, but that's when they seem to butt heads the most. It's typically homework time for Landon. I think kindergartners kind of have an obscene amount of homework. He has homework every night. And it's just kind of the witching hour, you know. It's too early for bedtime, but my 2-year-old's already woken up from her nap, and they can be cranky and butt heads and baths and bedtime and all that. Yeah, that's probably my least favorite part of the day. What is the worst thing someone said to you when you were pregnant? If y'all only knew. If y'all only knew. Okay, I will try to insert a picture right here. of when I was pregnant. And this is just one of many pictures, but that is one of the main reasons that we have strongly considered being done having kids on a serious note, is because of the extremely hurtful comments I received over and over and over and over again when I was pregnant. Let me just tell y'all something. If you're watching this right now, it's pretty much a 99% certainty that you are a female and that you have had a baby, or you are in the having baby realm. So this probably doesn't apply to you, but I still need to say it. Be kind to a pregnant woman. Don't say the cliches. Don't say you're huge. Don't say you're about to pop. Don't say you're not gonna make it. Don't say, are you sure there's only one in there? Don't say, how do your ankles even stand up? Don't say, do your knees buckle? Don't say, are you gonna eat the whole buffet? Don't say, are you just miserable? Some of you are probably chuckling, but all these things are things that were said to me, and it got to be so aggravating and so hurtful. I would just come home and cry, because I was one of the rare women that truly loved being pregnant. I loved everything about it, even the enormous weight gain. I loved my belly and feeling the baby move and the rare positive attention and commentary that I got, and just knowing that life was inside me. It was just my child. I loved it. I know I'm in the minority, but I loved it. So for that to be rained upon so much and criticized, and you know, people can no longer use the excuse, well, I didn't know. No, if you're not sure, or if you don't know what to say to a pregnant woman, just go with the cliche. You know what, you're glowing, or you look great, or you know what, you're gonna be a great mom. When in doubt, say nothing, or say something positive. Okay, moving along. Baby names that you and your husband did not agree on. There are a few. I think I've mentioned several times, our son's name is Landon, our daughter's name is Vivian, but when I was pregnant with Landon, it took us a while to settle on Landon. I liked some other names. I think I liked Brody, and I liked Tristan, Legends of the Fall. Anyone? Yep. Brad Pitt, 1994. That was a good year for Brad Pitt. But I liked a few, and Michael didn't like hate them, but he didn't really love them. And then Michael had some interesting taste for boy names. I thought he really likes old country names like Merle, as in Haggard, and Malone, Waylon. Waylon, I did like at a time, to be fair. I did used to like that name. Vern, you know, those kind of names. So those were politely rejected, and we finally settled on Landon. I liked a few girl names that he wasn't crazy about. I really liked the name Harlow, still do, with an E on the end. He didn't love that. And so we both knew early on, before we even knew the gender of our second, that Vivian was just the name that we both loved. So when we found that it was a girl, we didn't even deliberate. We just went with Vivian. It was easier that way. Do you co-sleep? No, we do not. This is not judgment towards anyone who does, but that's just never been our thing. I have a very regimented sleep schedule for my kids. They were sleep trained from about 6 weeks on, and co-sleeping has just never been our vibe. I like my own bed, I like my own space, I like my own time after my kids go to bed. I will say occasionally, Landon, now that he is 6, when Michael's on night shift, I'll let Landon sleep with me like once a month, and that's like the highlight of his life. So I'll let him do that every now and then, but as a general rule, we do not co-sleep. Something you bought but never used. That one's hard, y'all. That one's a little bit tough. And I should have thought about these through like a little bit more before I started filming. I would say the swaddle wraps, like those Velcroed swaddle pieces that are meant for your baby to kind of wear. I got those, but I never really used them. I just swallowed the heck out of them with those like muslin, really thin, breathable blankets. Pacifier covers, never really used those. Just a quick rinse under the sink does the trick. Another thing that I bought but didn't really use that much was a nursing cover. I did breastfeed both my kids for different periods of time. Landon was about 6 weeks and Vivian was about 4 months. And I totally think women should be free to feed their kids however way they choose, but I wasn't comfortable nursing in public, so it just wasn't something that was utilized that much. I do think I wound up giving it away, so waste not, want not, right? The next one is 3 hospital bag must-haves. Well, this is also difficult because it depends on what you consider a necessity. Like, my mind instantly went to like touch-up powder. I know that's bad, but I didn't want my makeup to look bad when I delivered. That's bad, right? I would say your charger, for sure, because people are going to be blowing up your phone and you're going to want to stay in contact and you're going to want to post those first pictures of your newborn. I'm going to echo what my friend Amanda said, and a robe. Those hospital gowns are so ugly, but vanity aside, you know, they're not that practical if you are trying to breastfeed. If you're not, girl, you do you. Bust out that formula. But if you are trying to breastfeed, they like snap this way and then you got to pull your boob out and they're all engorged and ugly and you feel like a science project anyway after giving birth. So having a nice like satin robe where you feel a little bit more like yourself, not trying to be sexy, but it's the furthest thing from sexy after you have a kid, but where you feel more like yourself, it's easier access to breastfeed if that's what you choose to do. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. And then maybe some of your own personal toiletries from home. You know, that first shower after giving birth, whatever kind of delivery you have, can be rough, and there's nothing wrong with the toiletries that the hospital provides, but if you can have little touches of home that make you feel more like home when you're at the hospital, I think that's a good thing. My alarm just went off. My apologies. 1 second. Okay, next question. Are you a routine mom or are you a go with the flow mom? All my friends watching this are probably laughing right now because they know the answer. Because anytime they're like, hey, you want to go off and do this? Hey, you want to do this? I'm like, I can't. That's nap time. I can't. They go to bed at 7. We are definitely a routine family, and I don't think that makes me any better than any other mom, but I was asked the question, so I'll give an honest answer. We do follow a routine very closely. I'm not militant about it. My kids do get car naps every now and then, and they'll go to bed 30 minutes, an hour later every now and then, but generally speaking, every single day that Landon is home, at least he has a rest time. Like today is a Sunday and he's 6 and he has a rest time in his room for 2 hours, and every single day without fail, Vivian has a nap time without fail. That girl's getting put down. So yes, we do follow a routine, and I'm not unwilling to compromise here and there, but it is in my kids' best interest to have structure, consistency, and routine every day. That sleep schedule is pivotal for their health and for their growth. It's good for moms too to have a set time every single day that you say, you know what, my kids are in bed, they're loved, they're fed, they're taken care of, they're nourished. Now it's time for them to sleep. Now it's time for mom. Next question, what type of labor and did you have pain relief? Yes. I had the epidural with both children, and I requested it as soon as possible. And I was able to have vaginal births with both children. So I was thankful for that. I think that pretty much answers the question. Have you ever been mom shamed? Absolutely. Directly to my face. I don't know that I can answer that specifically, but yes, I have. No specific person comes to mind, but just a general attitude of mom shaming. If you let your kid be on an electronic, say at a restaurant, so your child can focus and stay quiet, and you and your husband might have 15 minutes to eat, yeah, you get looks for that, which it's like, Deborah, if they had iPads in 1980, little Steven would have had one too. So just take your judgy mom eyes aside, okay? Also, for not breastfeeding longer. And I'm really gonna try not to get off on this soapbox, but I think it's about to happen. Can we please stop caring how mothers feed their kids? Seriously, as long as the child is fed and healthy and loved, why does it matter? Why do you care if a boob or a bottle is going in that kid's mouth? I don't understand. And yes, I will say, I do think there can sometimes be even more shaming towards choosing to formula feed. And I'm not saying that breastfeeding mothers haven't been shamed. I think it's disgraceful to make a mother feel badly for using her body in the most natural way possible to feed her baby. I'm not about shaming that life either. But the whole, you know, bringing your formula and someone saying, you didn't try to breastfeed? Do you know how hard I tried? Do you know how many hours I stayed up pumping and pumping and pumping and getting 1/4 of an ounce? Do you know how many nights I cried? Do you know how many hours I sat up trying to get my child to latch and get all the nourishment he needed and he was still crying? Did you know that formula literally saves lives? Slow your roll, sister. Fed is best. Whew. That was a soapbox and I'm not even ashamed of it. So I can't even remember what the question was. Mom shaming. Yeah, you never know what a mom is going through. You never know what anyone is going through. Everything I just mentioned was my experience. I am pretty endowed in this department, and I think everyone thinks that milk production is proportionate to size. Not true. I would pump and pump and pump because I wanted so desperately to be able to exclusively give them breast milk. Didn't work out for me, so they got formula. And you know what? They're healthy, happy kids. Moving along. Biggest challenges you've faced since becoming a mom? I think it would probably be my patience level with them. I get very frustrated with myself on how quickly, especially lately, I tend to lose patience. When Michael's on his work week, which I would never fault him for, you know, he's providing for us, but that's when it's particularly heightened. When I'm doing it by myself for half the month, tensions can be high, and I will definitely snap at them and yank things away and shout. I've done all those things. So that's probably the biggest challenges, is taking a deep breath. And my mom told me this a long time ago. She said, it's not a bad life. It's not even a bad day. It's just a day. It's just 24 hours in this huge cosmos of time. Like, take a deep breath and try to let the small stuff go, you know? Really good advice. But my mom always gives really good advice. Biggest piece of advice you'd give to a new mom? Girl, if you are watching this and you find me even slightly relatable or fun to laugh at, let others help you. I feel like there's such a mantra now where you have to be super mom and you have to do everything yourself, and you have to be seen as this like warrior who breastfeeds and is just so self-sacrificing and just does all the things and doesn't need a man, doesn't need help from anybody. Accept help. Even if you are that amazing mythical creature of a new mom who never gets tired, never gets cranky, never doesn't recognize herself, never thinks she needs help, just accept help. And conversely, if you are in the same circle as someone who's a new mom, offer her help. I promise you she needs it. Whether it's being able to take a nap, or being able to go to the grocery store by herself, or you making a meal for her, or even just you going over and having a conversation with her. The people that did those things for me right after I gave birth twice, I will never forget, y'all. You will never know how much those things meant to me. So give new moms grace, give humankind grace, and offer to help. And if you're a new mom, accept it. Please accept it. Who do you tag? Okay, well, I am going to tag my sister, Joanna Thornton, who also has a channel here on YouTube. I'm going to tag her. I'm going to tag my girl, Ladies, who her channel is Ladies & Co. Although she is just about to deliver her third baby, so she may need some time before answering these questions. So I'm gonna tag the two of y'all, and I know this was kind of wordy. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and just remember, like, have fun with things and be able to laugh at yourself and make fun of yourself and just dust it off, get back up and keep going, because momming ain't easy. And there are so many days where we all feel like throwing in the towel. Just be real. You know, it's okay to be real about the struggles. That's one more little side note I'll have. You don't have to act like everything's perfect all the time. It is okay to be real. It is okay to say that your kids are working your last nerve. It is okay to say that you'd like to get in the car and take a drive for an hour and not think about or do anything with them. It's okay to say you need a break. We don't think you love your kids any less. I know how much you love your kids. I love my kids more than life. I would step in front of a moving train for them, but they work my nerves. Constantly they work my nerves. And time away from them can be a good thing, can give me time to miss them, and can make me a better mom and so much happier to see them when I come back. So I hope this was entertaining. I hope it was helpful. Thank y'all for sticking along as always and indulging me. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye guys.